einem geheimnisvollen Bus landete, der ihn, sonst wohin brachte, wo es Sommer ist. Machen wir weiter. I cautiously sat down on the curbstone beside the bus and started waiting. My patience didn't last long. My anxiety seemed to have reached the top, and I started going slightly mad. In such a situation, anyone would have probably felt something similar. Aliens and parallel universes were gone from my imagination, leaving only void and darkness. Überdramatisch. Is this how it will all end? How my life will end? But I wanted to do so much. So many things that I've had no time for yet. I was taken over by the idea that was definitely the end. Ja, du bist ja auch tot, klar. But why? It's not fair. Surely I'm no worse than anyone. God, why? Ja, mach die Augen zu. Ist alles vorbei. Tears were burning my eyes unbearably. I curled up and started rolling in the grass. Why? What did I do? Why me? But my outcries were only heard by speechless statues of pioneers and by a bird on a tree, which immediately flapped her wings and took off, having cried something in its own bird language, as if laughing at the idiot who dared to interrupt its after-dinner nap. At last I was breathless with my weeping, and just sat quietly sobbing from time to time. So, reißen wir uns jetzt zusammen. Gehen wir jetzt mal da rein oder so. After a while, I managed to pull myself together. Mind cleared up a bit, as if terror and the fear of death gave me a little break. All in all, if someone wanted to kill me, what is it all for? Doesn't look like an experiment either. If this is some crazy coincidence, then it probably carries no threat. Anyway, for now it seemed there's no danger. The panic was soon gone. Of course, the blood was still pounding in my head, and my hands were still shaking, but at least I could think clearly now. Right now, there's nothing I can really change anyway. So, no matter how much I think or get mad, it would only make things worse. There's no point making guesses until I get some facts straight. In any case, I won't learn anything by lounging about here. This camp, if of course it is a real camp, looked like the only place where people could be, so I decided to walk there, and hardly have I reached the gate when... Oh, a girl came out from behind them. Wearing Pioneer uniform. Mit einem sehr kurzen Rock. My logic didn't let me down this time. Then again, Pioneer uniform in the 21st century? And then again, girls here? I froze, unable to make a step. I felt very much like running away. Running as far away as I could from this place, from this bus, gates, statues, and far from this bloody girl with its siesta. Ist Siesta irgendwie was anderes, als ich denke, oder? Just run, free like a wind, faster and faster, weaving to the planets, passing by, and winking to the galaxies. Dreht mal wieder ab. Run, becoming a pulsar ray and turning into vestigial radiation. Run to face the unknown. Run no matter where, as long as it is far away from this place. Oh Gott, Menschen, oh, sie kommt auf mich zu. Sie kommt genau auf mich zu. Meanwhile, the girl came closer and smiled. Oh Gott. I could not help but notice her beauty, even though I was trembling with fear. Human instincts work despite of consciousness, and while only 5% of the brain is responsible for cognitive processes, the remaining 95% are always busy sustaining life, and in particular ensuring stable functioning of the hormonal system. I desperately wanted to get less complicated and stop thinking in formal quotes from the encyclopedia from the book, though my thoughts appeared one by one, being stupid, out of place, as if taken from an internal monologue of a hero of some junky softcover crime fiction book. Red einfach mit ihr, bitte. A pretty Slavic face, long braids, blades, oh god, looking like 2 arms full of fresh hay, and blue eyes in which you could drown. Hi, you must have just arrived. Klar. Yeah. Alright then, welcome. She smiled broadly. Yeah, broadly. Strange, it looked as if I just had a normal girl in front of me. Boah, I shouldn't have returned here. The woods and fields seemed better. Oh, Menschen. Hilfe, das ist er doch gar nicht gewohnt. But what shall I do next? Try to speak with her as if she was a human, or run away, or whatever? The blood was pumping unbearably in my head, tearing it apart from the inside. A little bit more and the poor pioneer girl would be splattered with the hydrous contents of my skull. Bam! What's funny about that? The girl gazed over me. It sent shivers down my spine, and my knees started to tremble. Nothing? Great then! Great? What's great about that? Suddenly, I felt like letting it all be. The bus behind me, the winter yesterday and the summer today. Take off the itchy pullover and just believe that it was all real. That it all was meant to be and that it all at last was for the better. And you must probably know... You should go to our camp leader. She'd tell you everything. Look. You go straight ahead to the square, then turn left, and you'll see small cabins. She pointed at the gates, as if I knew what was behind them. Well, you can ask someone where Olga Dimitrievna's cabin is. Dimitrievna heißt Tochter von Dimitri. Okay. Got it? Of course I didn't. And I got to go. Whoosh! The girl waved her hand at me and disappeared behind the gates. It seemed as if for her I was something ordinary. And all of the show with the bus and the travels and waking or sleeping were troubling only me, while here everything was just like it was supposed to be. Camp leader, pioneer uniform. Are they making a historical reconstruction here? I hope I wouldn't find Lenin stand atop of an armored car at the square. But even that would not surprise me right now. After standing alone for a while, I headed into the camp. Mere 50 meters ahead, a small one-story house has popped up on the left side. Whoosh, da ist es. The billboard near the door said clubs. I was about to come closer when the door suddenly opened and a short girl wearing pioneer uniform came out. Her pretty face gave me an impression of bearing a torment for the fate of the whole mankind with a truly universal sorrow. Was macht die? Oh Gott. As soon as she saw me, the girl froze, as if frightened. Vielleicht gibt's ja nur Mädchen. I froze too, considering what was the best to do. To approach first or wait until she shows some initiative. Or maybe run away after all. Oh ja, die sieht sehr gefährlich aus. Although this last option was constantly suggested only by my self-preservation instinct, at least that's what I'd like to believe. Not the worst human instinct, but one far from being the most logical. If this instinct played poker against deductive abilities, the result would be predetermined. And those deductive abilities, or at least their semblance, was hinting me that there was no need to be afraid of this girl. Und dafür musst du erst 10 Minuten nachdenken? Suddenly someone jumped out of nearby bushes. Oh, die Musik ist ziemlich laut, oder? Und so wunderschön. A girl wearing a bright T-shirt with USSR written on it. Obwohl es vollkommen anders aussieht, aber kyrillisch und so. Such exact reproduction of the age. She looked quite short from the distance and was probably younger than both pioneer girls at the gates and this girl at the door of the clubs. Und ihr Haar widerspricht jeder Gravitation. At least... Jetzt macht sie auch noch so. Oh Gott. Okay, vielleicht gibt es echt nur Frauen. At last I decided to come closer, but the USSR, as I called her in my mind, jumped to the first girl and started telling something while sawing the air. The other girl in turn seemed confused, looked down and made no reply. I would have probably continued to observe the amusing dialogue when the USSR suddenly pulled something out of her pocket and started shaking it in front of the first girl's face. This something turned out to be a grasshopper. Ah! Squealed the first girl. She must be not too keen of insects, as she instantly rushed towards where Lenin probably made his speech about the accomplished workers and peasants revolution. Okay, ein Grashüpfer ist eigentlich nicht furchterregend, aber wenn einem einer plötzlich vors Gesicht gehalten wird, dann kann man sich schon mal erschrecken. That's to say, towards the square. Und weg ist sie. The USSR glanced at me, grinning playfully, and dashed after her. Sieht dieses Gebäude eigentlich total heruntergekommen aus, oder sieht das nur durch die ganzen Schatten so aus? Not a bad start of the day. I have absolutely no clue where I am. Besides that, there are some kids here role-playing pioneers. As far as I can tell, this place is located thousands of kilometers away from my home. It might even be a different reality. And this was indeed a reality. I mean, everything around me seemed so real, if a little embellished, that I was starting to fall into thinking that in fact my previous life could have been just a dream. And what should I do now? Geh doch einfach da. Warum wird das dunkel und dann ist da gar nichts anderes? Blinzelt er dann? Ja. I was picking the cracks in the tiles, which paved the pathway, and started aimlessly at the club's building. Just few more seconds before I have to come up with a decision. That's when I recalled myself rolling on the grass, weeping. I cringed in disgust. Ja, reiß dich zusammen, komm schon. Perhaps it's just another instinct. When all energy for whimpering and self-pitying is used up, the body either goes into hibernation or mobiles at reserve. Mine seemed to have chosen the second option, because out of the blue I got this determination to figure out what was going on. Yeah, komm Semyon! You can do it. And in order to do that, I had to act like a man, like a human, to maintain the dignity of a representative of my own world. I followed the path to the left and to the right, of which stood small cabins, apparently homes of the local pioneers. Und es sieht total niedlich aus. Ich frage mich zwar, warum die alle unterschiedlich aussehen, aber passt schon. Actually, they look quite cozy from the outside. Even though I was born in the Soviet Union, I have never been part of its children organizations, neither the pioneers nor even the younger October children. I imagined the daily life of a typical pioneer camp a bit differently. Huge barracks with long rows of metal bunks, wake-up calls at 6 o'clock, played by a siren, 1 minute to make your bed, then joining formation at the drill square. Oh wait, could I be confusing it with something else? Ja, mit dem Militär vielleicht? Oh. I was suddenly hit on the back. I staggered, but remained on my feet, turned around and prepared to become a hero and while fighting for my life. But all I found was another girl standing before me. Okay, sehr eigen. Was haben wir ihr eigentlich getan? My mouth hung open in surprise. Pick a jar up off the floor. I closed my mouth. Same pioneer uniform, but it looked, let's say, provocative, the way she was wearing it. Like all the girls I had met here before, this one was rather cute, but her overly arrogant expression killed any desire to get to know her better. So, you're new here? Fine, see ya! She dashed a threatening glance at me and walked past. Danke für das Gespräch. I waited for the pioneer girl to turn at the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to? Vielleicht hat sie uns ja ein Schild auf den Rücken geklebt oder so. The most interesting thing was that even this hostile girl seemed completely normal to me. She did not give the feeling of some deadly danger. Except maybe the danger of getting punched in the nose. Facepalm, da bist du. Man hat dir eine Statue errichtet. Das ist so schön. Oder was macht er da sonst? Brille auf die Nase schieben. At last I managed to make it to the square. There was no lane or an armored car, although one could really expect something like that after all that had happened. Instead, however, a monument to a certain comrade towered in the middle of the square. The letters on the pedestal said Agenda. Haben die Flaggen irgendwas zu bedeuten? Die Farben? Weiß ich nicht. Must be some big figure of the party. There were some small benches at the sides. It's quite cozy here. Where did that girl tell me to go? To the left or to the right? Left, right, left, right. And why am I going there anyway? Alright, I've decided to pretend to be normal. So, to the right. Oh, sie hat links gesagt. Kannst du dir nicht mal merken, geradeaus und links? Through a small grove. I walked to a pier. Wow. Das sieht ja luxusmäßig aus. I must have taken a wrong turn. Ach nee. Oh, wrong way! I turned towards the boys. Woohoo! The first girl stood before me. Yeah. I did tell you to turn left from the square, and where have you gone? She changed from her pioneer uniform into a bikini. Für den Fall, dass ihr es noch nicht bemerkt habt. Oh, I still haven't introduced myself. My name is Slavia. Actually, the full name's Slaviana, but everyone calls me Slavia. So can you. Yeah. Okay, jetzt wird er noch weniger artikuliert, denn er starrt ihr garantiert nur noch hierhin. I still felt a bit confused, though I could not come up with a more meaningful answer. And what's your name? I felt like she could see right through me. Semyon? Nice to meet you, Semyon. Ah, wie lassiv sie mit ihrem Haar spielt. Hm? Vielleicht ist er wirklich der einzige Mann und sie will ihn sich schnell sichern. Alright, I'm almost done here. Could you wait here a minute? I'm going to change and we go to Olga Dimitrievna together. Agreed? Agreed? She ran off after these words, and I sat on the pier and let my feet hang into the water. I was wearing heavy winter boots, but in such weather there was nothing wrong in getting my feet wet. Warum ziehst du die Schuhe nicht aus? Wer hängt denn seine Stiefel ins Wasser? Oh mein Gott. Furthermore, it let me cool myself a little. Looking at the river, I was brainstorming and processing everything that has happened. If this is some kind of conspiracy, it's a weird one, even too friendly at times. No, it really looks more like a random event. Some entirely incomprehensible random event. Shall we go? Slavia was standing beside me, dressed in pioneer uniform again. Und zwar super schnell. Let's go! Ach nee, das war ich. Let's go. Sehr männlich. I've been here for a very short time, but of all the people I've met, she looks the least suspicious. Findest du? However, this fact is already suspicious in itself. Immer wachsam bleiben. Hey, Facepalm! We walk to the square. Sie steht aber auch lassiv da, ne? The USSR girl and the girl who hit me on the back were there, chasing each other. Is this some kind of game they are playing? Oder hat sie ihr den Grashüpfer gezeigt und den Falschen damit erwischt? Ujana, enough running. I'll tell everything to Olga Dimitrievna. Ja, Gott bewahre, dass sie im Sommerlager rennt. Wo sind wir hier? Aye, aye, Captain. Ich glaube, sie ist so nervig. I decided not to question Slavia for a while about what was going on and about the local residents. But I first reached this mysterious Olga Dimitrievna. Sounds like she's the boss here. Hier waren wir doch eben. Ach, egal. Es gibt halt nicht genug Bilder. We were walking past the rows of almost identical cabins, some of which looked like fat beer barrels, while others looked more like household sheds. Finally, Slavia stopped in front of a smallish one-story cabin. Whoa! It looked like an artist's painting. The fading paint, chipped here and there with age, was sparkling in the sun. The window shutters, slightly ajar, were swaying in the wind almost unnoticeably, and huge lilac bushes were growing on the sides. Wow. It seemed as if this ramshackle hut was drowning in the velvet purple storm, and the lilacs, like some elemental force, were inexorably destroying the true bleeder's house. Was hat dieser Mann eigentlich für eine Macke? Okay. Es sind einfach Büsche. Okay. What are you standing for? Let's go! Slavia took me out of my daydreams. And stop teasing Lena already! Wow! Was ist das? Rena? Wer ist Rena? Warum hat sie ein blutiges Hackebein? Und ist das ein Dämon? Ist das hier ein Murder-Mystery-Thriller? Was passiert? Okay, ich habe Angst. Jetzt ist sie weg. Okay, vielleicht hatte er so eine Angst vor der Stimme. Sounds like there's someone inside. Indeed, a moment later the door swung open and Uliana ran out and dashed past with the same mischievous grin. The pigtailed girl went out next. Don't get upset about her, Lena. So, her name is Lena. Gotta be thankful it's not Rena, at least. Vielleicht verstehen das nur Russen. Kann es mir jemand erklären? Keine Ahnung. But I don't... She didn't finish her phrase, blushed and quickly headed towards the square. For some reason I felt like turning around and following her with my eyes. Oh. But Slavia said, Come. Ach, er wollte doch gerade Lena auf den Hintern gucken, Mann. Na gut. We entered the cabin, wo ein Plakat mit einem Alien hängt. Sieht jedenfalls aus. Inside it looked something similar to what I was imagining. 2 beds, a table, a couple of chairs, a simple carpet on the floor, a wardrobe. Nothing special, but at the same time it felt homelike and cozy. Although this room was almost in the same state of disorder as my own flat. Also ich finde den eigentlich, okay, hier liegen eine Socke, hängt hier und so, aber so unordentlich ist es nicht. Hm? Hier hängt ein BH, okay. A girl standing near the window appeared to be about 25 years old. Und ihre Augen sind tot. Sie hypnotisieren mich. Okay. The nature obviously gifted her with a pretty face and a good body. At least one thing can keep you happy in this pandemonium. The locals are beautiful. You're finally here. Excellent. My name is Olga Dimitrievna. I'm the camp leader. Nice to meet you. I'm Semyon. I decided to talk as if I weren't surprised by anything that was going on. Sie kommt näher. She came closer. We've been waiting for you since the early morning. You've been waiting for me? Yes, of course. Denn dies ist ein Camp voller Frauen und du musst uns alle beglücken. Oder was auch immer. Die Musik klingt auf jeden Fall irgendwie so. And when does the next bus come? And why do you need it? Yeah, right. Why would I need it? I guess I shouldn't ask direct questions. The people here may react to them quite unlike what I'd prefer. And I doubt I'd get any answers. No reason, just curious. By the way, where are we exactly? Our mailing address, I mean. I wanted to send a letter to my parents to tell them I got here fine. For some reason, I had the desperate idea that if I played along, I would find something out. Oh, but your parents gave a call just half an hour ago. They sent their regards to you. Ich habe ihre Stimme gerade geändert, oder? Ach, egal. Now that's a surprise. So, can I call them? Because I forgot to tell them something before I left. No. She gave me a sweet and natural smile. Hallo, ich weiß genau, was hier abgeht und du nicht. Why not? We don't have a phone here. Das ist total logisch. Then how could my parents make the call here? I've just come back from the district central town. It's there that I talked with them. Now that's how it is. And can I somehow get to the town? No. Überraschung. She kept the same smile. Why not? Because the next bus only comes in a week. I decided not to inquire how the troop leader managed to get there and back. I would get no answer anyway. Okay, beginnt das System zu durchhauen. Ach, die ist auch noch da. All this time, Slavia was standing next to me and seemed to find nothing out in our conversation. Oh, we need to find a uniform for you. I've got absolutely no desire to put on a pioneer shorts or to wear the ridiculous red neckerchief. However, wearing winter clothes in summer is not a great idea either. Right, thank you. I wonder if I'm the only one here who finds it strange that someone's wearing a coat and winter boots in such heat. Righty right, I'll be off then, and you can get yourself acquainted with the camp. Don't forget to come to dinner in the evening. Having said that, she walked out of the cabin. No, walked is not the right word. She rushed out. I was now alone with Slavia und ihre tiefen Augen, in denen man ertrinken kann. I must go too. Got things to do. Have a walk, look around the camp a bit. See you in the evening. If there was no catch or menace to that, then this reality in the person of Slavia becomes more and more something to be fond of. Okay, ich glaube, an der Stelle machen wir erstmal wieder eine Pause. Wir haben jetzt schon ein paar Leute getroffen. Es ist nicht wirklich klarer, was hier los ist, aber vielleicht finden wir beim nächsten Mal was raus. Ja, das war euer Nerdmädchen. Ich würde mich über einen Daumen hoch freuen und macht euch noch einen schönen Tag.